Hi gang, I'm Mia from Hess Music, and I'm so glad you clicked on this video because I think it's really important to express why I started my YouTube channel and maybe why you should start a YouTube channel. As of August 2024, I'm 70 years old, yes, old, and I started my YouTube channel journey about 10 years ago. So the number one reason why I started my YouTube channel, and I've been asked this a lot, like, why did you start a YouTube channel? What's your goal? What's your raison d'etre, as it were? Well, the big reason why I started my YouTube channel is, number one, legacy. I think the older that we get, especially women, there's a tendency by society, by kind of how women are treated as they age, that they become less relevant, they become less important. They have a tendency to become invisible. And I have just enough of an ego to say, I don't want to be invisible. I don't want to disappear. Everybody has something to give. It's like a permanent record because the internet, unless the internet goes, if you write something on the internet, if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, there's a record of you. There's a record that you actually existed. The number two reason why I started my YouTube channel is because I play music and sing music and have sung music since 1981 as a professional singer. Started out with big bands and stuff like that. I sing music pretty much exclusively from the 1920s, even a little bit further back than that, all the way through to the 1970s. And you ask why? Why am I doing old fart music? Well, because I wanted to share, quote unquote, old fart music, because I feel that it has so much to offer. And the melodies are so beautiful, and the words are great, and things like that. And there's a reason why some of these songs have lasted for decades and decades and decades, but I wanted to share that with people. The number three reason why I started my YouTube channel was because the piano player that I was playing with at the time, who was 82 years old, something like that, said, I'm going to retire. And I went, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I decided to pick up the ukulele. It was kind of a fluke when I picked up the ukulele. And the very first song that I did on the ukulele, and I think it's my very first video on YouTube, is I did a short tutorial on Dream a Little Dream of Me. Stars shining bright above you. Mama Cass did a cover of it, even though it's a lot older song than that. As I was learning all this music and preparing for the fact that my career singing with a piano player was going to go, I figured, well, I'm going to learn to play a musical instrument because that way I can keep it going. Why should you start a YouTube channel? First of all, you matter. If you're over 40, 50, 60, 70, beyond, you matter. And the other thing too is we have a tendency to think that YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that kind of stuff is a young person's game. In other words, it's a millennial game, it's a Gen Z game. But it isn't. There's a place for everybody in this sort of universe of YouTube. I do post on Instagram, but very rarely. And I'm not on TikTok because I just can't, I can't deal with it. You should start a YouTube channel because you matter and you have so much to offer people out there. There's your experience, there's your opinions, there's your personal gifts, because everybody has personal gifts. And to keep it closed in because you're really paranoid about creating on, you know, say those three platforms, is because you think nobody's going to want to listen to some old broad or, you know, old guy. No, you have a voice. And the great thing, it's the drawback, but it's the great thing about social media, in particular visual media like video, is because you get a chance to express who you are and share who you are. Share your expertise. I mean, let's say, for instance, that you got grandkids, you know, how do you handle this, that, and the other thing with a grandkid? Let's say you have pets. Maybe you can give advice or opinions about pets. You know, why having a pet is important. You have a hobby. Let me share my hobby. You're going to say, well, I'm a gardener. And you're going to say, there are a million million gardening channels out there, but there's not how you garden, and you might be able to give advice to somebody out there who's just starting a garden or something like that. Or if you're a crafter, or even if you don't, say for instance, have any hobbies, but you feel very strongly about something. Could it be politics? Could it be the environment? Could it be women's rights? Could it be a million different things? Your opinion matters, and to get it out there in the ether is really, really important. And I think that everybody has something of value to give. So I want to thank you so much for listening. As of right now, I have 650 hard-earned subscribers, and I'm grateful to each and every one of them. I'm so grateful that you clicked on this video, because I really want to encourage you to just dive in and just give it a shot. Go for it. You don't need a whole bunch of junk to get you started on your YouTube channel. You really don't. I mean, a lot of people think, and I kind of agonize about that too, and I'll talk about that in another video. You really don't need that much. If you got a phone, you can make YouTube videos. So thank you to each and every one of you. I love you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. You matter, and I'll see you in the next one.